Okay, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing all right today. Let me play some music here. Hopefully, you guys can hear me all right. Just let me know if this is working. It's my first time streaming on YouTube, so I hope this goes off without a hitch. So let me just check something on my device too. I don't know if there's like a delay or whatnot to where this is being caught up. Let's see. Let me. There we go. So we see you. Okay, perfect. Hope you guys are doing all right today. So yeah, my name is Stryfe the Warrior. This is the face behind the voice of some of these Cobra Kai videos I've been doing. It's nice to meet everybody. So, Kat, what's going on? So yeah, I wanted to do this live stream. I did a poll back and whatnot. So, some of you guys said yes on wanting to do this live stream. Return of hey, I appreciate you stopping by regardless. Hope you have a good one. I think this VOD will stay up afterwards after I do the live stream. So yeah. I think let me drink some tea here. So yeah, I had some had like the response back on me wanting to do live streams. So I'm using this time to answer your questions, whether it's about like my video process, or I can just tell you guys either way, some Cobra Kai discussions, anything you want to know about me, kind of ask me anything and whatnot. So Thomas, what's going on, man? Answer this. Okay, what you got? I'm trying to catch up to these things. What do you think for season 4? Okay, so here's my overall thought of season 3. I thought it was really good, and the way they ended it was a very satisfying cliffhanger compared to season 1 and 2. I would not be upset if they ended the show at season 4. I know I've also heard the idea that they've always planned for 6 seasons, but I also don't want them to drag the show on and have the show degrade in quality. But obviously, yeah, the All Valley for sure. I know there is a theory going around that Robbie might win the All Valley, which I guess I could see that if they decide to go 6 seasons. But I guess it really just depends. We'll wait and see. I kind of hope that either Miguel or Hawk do win the All Valley, though. That's like my prediction. Do you think Mike Barnes fired Johnny in season 1? Oh, no problem. Return. Thanks for stopping in. I've heard that theory too. I don't know. I think unless it somehow ties into season 4, or like if Mike does come in season 4, season 5, or wherever, I think it could have just been like a name that they just used, like just like a simple common name like Mike and whatnot. So, but it's really hard to say. But I would like to see Mike Barnes like come back in Cobra Kai. Reaper Hawk to stay, yeah, Hawk for sure. I get in with that. The stories, what's going on? Do I think Robbie and Tori will become a thing? Let me drink this real quick. This tea has been saving my life. I was able to record my Miguel video earlier because of this. Do you think Robbie and Tori become a thing? Kind of likely. I know that like a lot of people ship Miguel and Tori, and Sam and Robbie, but I think Robbie and Tori, because of their past and everything, they are better for each other, because I guess they can relate through the hardships, if that makes sense. May not be the best reason and whatnot. So how do I get over a loss of a fight? First locker box, I'm not sure what that is. I hope Chosen does come back. I think I feel like with Popular Man he might come back. So you think Daniel will tell Johnny? That has to get brought up at some point, honestly. Because especially if Terry Silver comes into the mix in season 4, that has to be brought up for sure. I would think so. What role do you think Terry would play in season 4? I think Terry will more than likely be the ultimate bad guy, and now has like another reason to make Daniel suffer even more. And that's like my initial prediction, of course. Because like when Kreese saved him in Vietnam, he says, your whole life, I will be there for you. And that's the one thing you do have to give credit to Terry for, that he is loyal to those that are his friends. So do you think Terry Silver is still rich? And if not, do you think he is richer? That is a good question. Because the other thing too, it's not like the end result of Karate Kid 3 is more or less basically just what it meant is like he didn't lose his company or thing. He was still rich. So I mean, if he not to the other thing too, it kind of depends on if he's been rich for a very long time. He has to. I mean, he's had to reinvest his money in like new innovations and stuff like that. So I would imagine he has still some kind of a grip on the valley. What way of fighting do you think Johnny and Daniel's dojo will teach? Now let me drink this real quick. What way of fighting do you think Johnny? I think they're gonna have to find the perfect balance of teaching each other like what they complement. So Johnny is gonna have to is willing to teach the offensive side of things, and I think Daniel will be open to that because Chosen did tell him the defense comes in many forms, and sometimes if your enemy insists on war, then you take away their ability to wage it, aka offense. Best defense is what's the quote? The best defense is more offense. So I think that would play. And then Daniel can teach, the Eagle Fang students how to defend better and whatnot. Like, for example, like one thing I mentioned with the comments is, Hawk is a really good fighter, on the offensive, but he lacks defense, and that's what cost him the match. Or really, well, number one, that cost him the fight against Dimitri at school. So, and number two, he was still kind of inexperienced in the Miyagi-Do fight. Season 4, I think from what the writer said, will be no later than January 2022 and whatnot. So, do you think Lin is an undercover employee for Sid? Because Sid bailed Johnny out and there is no way of him knowing he is in jail. The only two witnesses in the minute. That is a good question. Sid would be greasy enough not to give Lin any more money than needed, and not be able to help her out. So that is kind of plausible. So Sean joining Cobra Kai, yeah, I've heard this theory going around too. I think Sean could possibly join Cobra Kai. Robbie recruiting him, that does kind of make sense. There's not really any plausible way for him to join Eagle Fang or Miyagi-Do, so to speak. And Sean was able to hold his own against Robbie, and not to mention his size advantage too. So he does definitely have a lot going on for them. What do you think the new dojo will be called? Or do you think it will go? I mean, that would be interesting if they have it to go unnamed. But I would like them to kind of a cool fusion name. But I don't know what that would be at the top. Season 4, yeah, season 4. I would guess it would be cool if they released it this year too. But I think they said no later than January 2022. Do you think Terry will manipulate Johnny or Miguel to rejoin Cobra Kai? Hold on, let me drink this real quick. I don't think he would be able successful to do Johnny, just because Johnny at this point, with Miguel being critically re-injured by Kyler and stuff in the fight, I think there'd be no chance in hell that Johnny would rejoin Cobra Kai. I think same thing goes for Miguel because he knows that Kreese's teachings aren't good and they've been turning people into bullies. So I don't foresee that happening. Terry Silver could recruit him and offer him money. Yeah, that too. JMC, what's going on, man? What color will Hawks? Yeah, I've been hearing that question too. I don't have a preference of what the color would be, but I would not be opposed to some of the suggestions I've been seeing in the comments, which is green or purple. That would be really cool. So black would be another good choice too. But yeah. But I hope you guys like this shirt. I have a green screen behind me, so obviously my shirt's kind of see-through, but it is the Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai symbol fusion together. I actually got this for Christmas before season 3 came out, so. But yeah, sorry, I'm having to drink a lot of tea. This kind of would help clear up my voice and stuff like that. So I'm on the mend for COVID, by the way. I'm doing a lot better than I was. What I'm really just dealing with now is just stuffy nose, runny nose and whatnot, and then a little bit of cough. But thankfully there's no fatigue, no fever. That being said, you guys should still stay indoors if possible. Be safe, wear masks, wash your hands and all that and stuff like that. Hope you get better. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So very thankful that I have not had any serious complications yet. So I'm very thankful for that. I think another thing that saved me is before I had before I caught COVID, and even until now while I have COVID, I have been drinking a lot of vitamin water, so like a 32 ounce mix every day of like vitamin C, vitamin D, electrolytes, to build my immunity and stuff like that. And I think that really helped me kind of fight off the virus very quickly. Let's see. Let me Johnny Lawrence, Eagle Fang. Correct. So now, okay, so the Robbie redemption thing, I'm a little torn in between because I see a lot of different viewpoints in the comments. Like, I would not be opposed to if they say they did go beyond season 4 and they redeem him in season 5. It would be kind of cool to see Robbie a little bit more developed and kind of develop him that way. But it would also be cool to see him be redeemed like during the All Valley. But one thing I know some people are saying that he's possibly a mole for Cobra Kai to bring it down. But I just don't see how that would be possible. I mean, he has every reason to not join Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang. Feeling betrayed by Sam, Daniel, Johnny, his beef with Miguel, Kreese getting into his head. See, Kreese is very good at, manipulating the people that he wants to work for him. So that's like his main advantage. You use trees and rely on them, which makes sense for Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do. Oh, that's a good point. The body bag joke, that joke was vicious. Rest in peace, though, Rob Garrison, by the way. I was very sad to hear that he passed away not too long after season 2. What dojo would I join? Man, that's a good question. If we're talking about not, if we're talking about just the 3 dojos by themselves and not like counting the fusion of Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. As much as a big of a Johnny fan I am, if Miyagi was an option as a sensei, I would definitely join his dojo. I grew up with the Karate Kid movies. I still use the Miyagi-isms to this day, like in my own personal life, and they have helped me get through some tough times. So, Miyagi obviously is the best sensei of all time. I would say as of season 1 and 2, Johnny's a little bit better sensei than Daniel. Season 3 has kind of brought them back into the balance, so to speak. No pun intended. So, yeah, see, I don't see how that would, and that too, the Hawk being a spy, I mean, there was like just so many like theories of him, just so many different points of, him just despising Cobra Kai anymore. I don't really buy that, so. How do I feel about 2 dojos joining together? Do you feel it's a contrast between hard and soft styles of Kung Fu to come together and form a hybrid sorts? I think, honestly, I've been wanting Daniel and Johnny to join forces for a long time because they're very different but same, pun intended. They just, like Ali said, they're more alike than they care to admit, and they just don't like what they see sometimes as the flaws. And it's like, it kind of goes back to what Mr. Miyagi said, there's no bad students, only bad teachers. And they really came from very similar backgrounds, kind of very similar to how Miguel and Robbie come from similar backgrounds. Now, as far as the hard and soft styles of Kung Fu, I'm not a martial arts expert by any means, so I'm not sure what that exactly means. But I think if they could make a great style to teach to like Miguel, Hawk, Sam, Dimitri, to be able to help him through the All Valley, I'm totally all for it. So, who do you think the top 5 strongest teams will be at the end of the series? Let's see. That's a good question. Because I think the other thing that could be a variable factor is Miguel's injury playing into his season 4. Like, he just relearned to walk and he did beat Kyler, but he's still not at 100%. Because we know that, like, timeline wise, season 3 kind of takes place right after 2 weeks of the first day of school, which is, you could say, is August all the way to December. And we don't know exactly when the day that he recovered from that, so he still has like a long way to go recovery wise to be at 100%. Robbie, I think, would still be in the top bracket though, just because of his natural ability and due to his genetics, which is something I kind of talked about. Like I said, he learned the Miyagi-Do 2-legged kick in a short amount of time, and Daniel couldn't even learn that kick, and Daniel's been studying the style for 34 years. So Robbie is definitely a prodigy, so to speak. Hawk would still be up there too. One good point that somebody brought up in the comments is that Hawk has still been training this entire time. Obviously Miguel couldn't because he was in the hospital. So I would say Robbie and Hawk are up there, like in, at the very top. In no particular order, I would like to say Tori, Sam. Sam does have an advantage outside of plot armor that she's been training for like since she was a kid under Daniel. So she does have an advantage there. And, you know, believe it or not, I know people are upset about Dimitri. Oh, there's an ad. I'm playing New Moore's music here. But you have to understand, like Dimitri winning against Hawk, that was not a fluke. Like, he got hit twice and then started blocking every single strike after that. Very similar to how Daniel learned defense through Miyagi-Do by, you know, the muscle memory. So, I would say probably maybe Hawk, like in no particular order, maybe tie for all three. Hawk, Robbie, Miguel, depending on how Miguel's injury plays out. Sam and Tori, unless Dimitri somehow gets stronger, that would be my guess. So, how many seasons do I want? Like I said, if they don't drag it on, if they continue to do a good job of writing the show, I would be happy if they ended at season 4, to be honest. Don't really get the Hawk spy theory. Hawk showed signs of not liking. Yeah, exactly. I didn't get that either. Did you catch the tune at the credits after your season? Wait, did you catch the tune at the credits after season 3, episode 10? Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Double Dragon, actually. I know it was like, are you talking about the in the air cover, or are you talking about the Miyagi Metal song? I wonder if Johnny will respect Daniel more than now Daniel. I would think so too. Like, you know, that I would hope so. That would be another reason why they're working together. So yes, I would say I would be surprised if Silver didn't come back in season 4, because I know he's one of the creators' favorite characters, and they've been trying to like write him into the story for a while. Do you think there will be a scene with Kreese and Terry versus Daniel and Johnny? I think that would be awesome, but the only way I would see that happening is somehow after the All Valley, like in the parking lot or something like that. Samantha only trained for at least 6 years, and she trained for 3 months. Well, I mean, yeah, but you also have to remember, though, with Johnny, like, from what we know, Johnny hasn't done karate in a really long time. He went 34 years without doing it, but he's still a very skilled martial artist, so. Anyone else will get injured? Okay, so one, here, let me drink some more real quick, too. Double Dragon Dojo, that would be cool. So, okay, maybe it is Miyagi Metal that I'm thinking. I'll have to go back and re-listen to the track, which I did get the CD, by the way. I just haven't opened it yet. Anyone else getting injured? They say Hawk could be injured, but the only reason I don't see that happening is Hawk literally made everybody scared of him when he beat down Brooks. Like, even Tori was, like, surprised and scared. And Tori was also surprised that he broke Dimitri's arm. Kyler's definitely not going to mess with Hawk. So, maybe I would say maybe a minor character. Maybe Sam might get injured. That would be like a loophole, honestly. John Kreese's knuckle will bleed again. Hopefully, you know. So, yeah, Mike Barnes. I would like Mike Barnes to come back. I mean, honestly, he was very ruthless, and I think he would kind of work as a trainer for Silver and Kreese's new Cobra Kai, like in season 4. So, favorite scene in all the Karate Kid universe. Ooh, that's a good one. Let me think about that. The first movie, my favorite scene from that one would be the classic scene of Daniel learning about Miyagi's past, and, you know, kind of just like realizing that, you know, Miyagi has lived through like a lot of heartache, which they almost cut that scene out of the original movie, which is crazy. I'm glad that John Avildsen fought to keep that in. If I had to pick solely favorite scene, it would probably be that one. But if we're talking about from each movie, Karate Kid Part 2, I do like the scene where Daniel comforts Miyagi after his father passes away, because Daniel's gone through that same pain. Karate Kid 3, I do like when Miyagi shows Daniel the fixed bonsai tree that it grew back, and talking about strong roots. That scene resonates a lot with me too. Next Karate Kid, I do like when I think my favorite scene, it's kind of like a lighthearted scene, is where Julie and Miyagi are dancing with the monks. That scene's always cool. Mike Barnes, yeah, that was something else I forgot to say. Do you think Mike Barnes will have... I would be okay if he didn't, to be honest. I mean, there's not much into his backstory that we know about of what made him so ruthless. But then again, it was kind of like that for Chosen Karate Kid 2, and they were able to kind of correct it. But I would be okay. You know, I'd be okay with if every single character did not get redeemed. You know, like some people just can't be redeemed. Mike Barnes is one of those characters I would see not being redeemed for any reason. You know, that would be I would totally be okay if he didn't get redeemed. And it would really kind of go against his character. See, with Chosen, it made sense because Chosen was about honor. And he was only misguided because Sato had always kind of drilled in his head, you know, like, hey, Miyagi is bad. You know, he's a coward. He dishonored us. So he was very, like, you know, big on honor. But then when Sato, like, kind of helped him change his ways, that at least was kind of a made sense turning point for Chosen, in my opinion. So, Kreese calls Silver to have him bribe the committee. I could see that happening, actually. Cobra Kai wins the All Valley. That would be an awesome swerve, though, if Robbie somehow won the All Valley. I mean, that would be kind of cool. It's just then how would they fight back Cobra Kai after losing the tournament? I guess that's the real question. Julie Pierce comes back in season 5. I mean, I would like Julie Pierce to come back. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Next Karate Kid, but that movie still has some really good spots and like soft spots for me too. It's just you know, it's definitely part of the franchise. So here, let me read this while I'm drinking. Daniel's a foreigner. I mean, it could be. I think Chosen and Daniel have kind of buried the hatchet, especially with how they parted ways in season 3. So I, you know, that's the only reason why I wouldn't see that happening. But you know, Tori and Julie's outfit looks similar. Both of them always wear. Ooh, that is a good question. I know somebody had also thought about. That's okay, Azul. Welcome in. Have you know? Somebody had said that was their mom. Like Julie was Tori's mom, but I just don't see it happening. But that is kind of a cool callback. Favorite young character? Honestly, it's a tie between Miguel and Robbie. Miguel is like one of the, you know, Miguel is, not to give too much of the Miguel video that I'm going to be uploading later on this weekend. But, no, this one I can't skip this ad. Let me just mute that. Miguel is the perfect blend of Johnny and Daniel. Like, he's able to learn from both of their mistakes and, like, you know, also learn techniques really quickly like Robbie. So I think, you know, like if we're looking at, like, a coin, right, that has both heads or tails, Miguel is one side of that coin, Robbie's the other side of that coin, too. I do like Robbie because he is definitely misunderstood, and he's also a prodigy, just like Miguel. So those are my top 2 favorites. What the heck? Oh, this had like lyrics for some reason. Sorry, I'm listening to music on a playlist. Here, let's do this one. Let's see. Robbie might be stronger than Miguel because Robbie was tying it up while injured, and Miguel attacked his injured spot. But then again, Miguel will be getting taught by Daniel. Yeah, it depends on how Miguel's. Like, I know he's relearned to walk, but obviously he wasn't at 100% in season 3, like in the fight against Kyler. So Robbie does have an advantage, like I said, just because of his natural genetics from Johnny. You know, and the one thing that kind of evens him out is that Robbie learned techniques really quickly, more like quicker than his masters did. So did Miguel. Yeah, Miguel might have the slight advantage if he learns how to counter Robbie's style with Daniel's defense. That could definitely give him the edge. Hawk will change hair color again. That's what we were talking about. I would be okay with green, black, or purple. Those are my picks. Who would win, Chosen in his 60s or Terry Silver around his 70s? I think Chosen would still win. Chosen, like, and here's why. Chosen is, like, very deadly. Like, Daniel thought he knew everything, but, like, Chosen still kind of, like, was the superior fighter, like, back then in Karate Kid 2 and even now in Cobra Kai. And the other thing is, too, is that Chosen was the only person in the entire saga to land a hit on Miyagi. So I kind of think that, like, you know, kind of like, and like in my opinion, that's what I would consider those factors in. So, let me see. What do you think Chosen gave Daniel, the healing scroll or Big Blood? The healing scroll, I think so. Either the healing scroll or the scroll on like how to attack the pressure points. So, Chosen versus Barnes. Oh, that's a good one to think. Oh yeah. Damn, what is his name? Kenji Yamoto? I forgot what his name is. I could be got that wrong. Am I not a fan? Oh no, I'm a fan of Hawk. I think we were just talking about Miguel and Robbie. earlier and whatnot too. Like, as much as I love Hawk, I still like Miguel a little bit more. Chosen versus Barnes. Damn, that's a good question. Barnes is relentless, but Chosen was ready to kill Daniel like with no hesitation. I mean, Barnes is like motivated by money, but I think Chosen would still give him a run for his money. Do you think Kyle will become more of a main character? I kind of hope so. Like, one interesting point that I had saw that is like, there's not much given in backstory like why he was a bully. Kind of like, you know, like Chosen, there was like a little bit of backstory. Gianni, there's backstory. Even Kreese has a backstory of why the way he is. I'm not saying Kyler has to be redeemed, but it'd be kind of cool to learn more about the myths behind his madness. Who do you think the most powerful young character will be in the next season? Like I said, it kind of depends on Miguel's recovery and how he still kind of goes with that. That would probably be either a tie between Miguel, Robbie, or even Hawk. Because Hawk does have the advantage over Miguel still being able to train. I would like to see Julie come back and be Tori Sensei. I feel they're both similar with having anger issues. That's a good point. That would be Julie would be could be the one to bring Tori to the light side. So yeah, Julie Pierce. Let me drink some of this real quick. I'm gonna catch up to the chats here in a second. Can you? So Julie Pierce was in The Next Karate Kid, and that movie came out in '94. It was the last It was the last Miyagi movie that came out before the 2010 remake. It's not clear when Next Karate Kid takes place, but it is in the same universe as Karate Kid 1 through 3. Julie had lost both of her parents and was living with her grandmother, and her grandfather passed away as well. So Miyagi was looking after Julie and kind of helped her find balance. But Julie was a little bit different from Daniel, that she was so out of balance that he actually took her to a monastery to kind of help her find emotional balance, and then also kind of taught her karate and whatnot too. So Julie is the first lady Miyagi-Do, and I have a video coming out on her too. So how long do you think till Eagle Flank Miyagi-Do split? I hope they don't split. I mean, I don't really have a reason to see that they do split. I mean, that's a possibility though, but I feel like there were so many hatches that were buried, it's hard to see them splitting. Best and worst fight scene. If we're talking about Cobra Kai, best fight scene would be man, damn, that is tough. Yeah, I have to give that one some thought. Worst fight scene, I would say easily, probably not just because of how bad it was, but I guess you could say least favorite fight scene. The Miyagi-Do laser tag fight. I'm not a big fan of that fight for whatever reason. But my favorite fight, I would say, definitely would be Daniel and Johnny versus Kreese. Sato versus Kreese. Sato would totally whip Kreese too. Sato, was not as strong as Miyagi, but Sato could have still whipped Kreese in my opinion. Chosen versus Kreese. I think again Chosen would win easily. Do you think that Terry Silver would be extremely cool and brutal in Cobra Kai? Oh yeah, he would have to, because that's like what worked in Karate Kid 3 and whatnot. Mike Barnes versus Hawk. I would have to say that's close. That's a tough one. Man, dang, you guys are coming in strong with the comments. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up with everybody, and then drinking in tea with your recovery. Mike Barnes, if we're talking about tournament wise, Mike Barnes would win. Actually, no, overall Mike Barnes would win. The reason I say that is Mike Barnes is not only more relentless, but he has more experience. That's like one, like in my Hawk video I talked about, he has his inexperience of not training as long, as some of the others. Even though, Hawk has come a long way, don't get me wrong, but you also have to remember Mike Barnes was a national karate champion and possibly champion in other regions as well. So like he was a well-versed karate expert, and we still don't even know how long he had been practicing karate. So Silver helps Kreese turn good. I mean, it's possible. I don't see it happening. But that would be an interesting swerve too if they decided to say, like, if Silver refused to help him. Dutch is Tori's father. No, only because and this was something I was talking about in the Hawk videos too. Chad McQueen, Dutch's actor, declined to reprise in season 2. I don't know if it was because of scheduling issues or whatnot. But Dutch was also in prison way before Robbie, Miguel, Tori, etc. And that generation was even born. So Sean gets out of jail and joins Robbie, Tori, and Kyler. It could be Lights Out. I don't think Sean would be. Well, Sean would be deadly. I don't know if he would be that deadly to take out the entire Miyagi-Do team, though. Sean would put up a good fight, though. That I can admit. Mr. Han versus Mr. Miyagi. I need to go back. I love your channel, Stryfe. Thank you, Reaper. I need to go back and rewatch Karate Kid, the 2010 remake. It's been a while. But I remember I remember seeing the deleted fight scene between Mr. Han and the other sensei, and it was pretty good. Do you think See, I hear this theory too that Betsy was pregnant, but if she was pregnant before she died, maybe. I guess it would depend on how long Kreese spent time with her before going to the army. That would be the main question. Did Julie fight in a tournament? No, it was kind of like Karate Kid 2. There was no tournament. She fought her bully, which was Ned. And Ned kind of like dropped out of the Alpha Elite at the last second, which they were kind of like the Cobra Kai of that movie. Chosen versus Kreese. Oh, I might have read that already. Hold on, let me catch up here. Chosen versus Kreese. I think Chosen would still win. Sato versus Kreese. Chosen. Oh, these are just repeats. Silver. I would say I'd be very surprised if Silver didn't come back. I would hope Mike Barnes comes back in some capacity too. I think Mike Barnes would be needed to help train, the Cobra Kai.
Wi-Fi a lot and don't need as much data, you'll only pay $10.
Xander Stone versus Daryl Vidal. Daryl Vidal solely because he's a third generation black belt and has more experience. What about that one kid? Oh, we might have been talking about something else. Who's stronger out of Silver, Kreese, Johnny, and Daniel? Ooh, that is a good question. So, okay, so here's my ranking on that list. Kreese actually taught Silver, or if not, recruited Silver into the Vietnam Army when they learned from Captain Turner. So Kreese is definitely always going to be stronger than Silver. What makes this tough is that Johnny and Daniel both had Kreese defeated, but they're basically their kids intervened both times. I would say Daniel with the Miyagi secret pressure points definitely puts him higher on the list because that could really stop anybody. Then again, Kreese though took out two of those really big Armand's nephews. So man, that's tough. Damn, I'm trying to think. So we know Silver's at the bottom, right? I would say Johnny and Daniel are tied, in my opinion. Kreese is maybe slightly above them. So I would say Kreese would be the strongest out of all of them. Because we still don't have like a clear answer of who's the better fighter now that they're both very well versed in karate between Johnny and Daniel. Obviously, last time they fought, and the shop ended in a stalemate, and the apartment ended in a stalemate as well. So they're kind of implied to be evenly matched. Hawk and Moon will end up back together. That would be cool. I'd also be okay with Hawk not having a girlfriend. I don't think he necessarily needs one, but I will say that like when he was really confident, that's what brought Moon to him. Daniel and Johnny would become friends. I hope so. And whatnot. That guy can have major potential. Daryl Vidal versus Xander Stone. Oh, I answered that one already. God, dog. These are so many comments, guys. I'm trying to catch up. I apologize. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Daryl Vidal. Okay, I answered that one already. Kreese versus Terry Silver. Kreese. Kreese, just mainly because he kind of brought Silver under his wing. And Kreese did tell him in Karate Kid 3, like, hey, you're good, but you're telegraphing that certain kick. So that kind of implies that Kreese kind of taught him or helped his technique. Robbie and Sean versus Miguel. Ooh, that would be tough. Miguel and Hawk would have to divide and conquer to beat Sean and Robbie. Because Sean could easily overpower. I could imagine Sean just like grabbing both of them and just like hit them together like a freaking wrestling match. So, man, that's tough. That's a tough one. I don't have an answer for that, honestly. Do you want Bobby to come back and say sorry to Daniel for hurting him? That would be cool. Especially now that Bobby's a pastor and everything. Nobody talks about Ned and a possible return. That would be kind of cool too. I just don't know what he would return or how Ned and Julie would work into the story. Stingray's not allowed around kids. Oh well, maybe that's because he was, attacking the kids in the school fight in season 2. I mean, honestly, I thought Stingray was always a joke character. I don't think he was ever meant to be taken seriously. But like the writers have also said that, if a character's not in a certain season doesn't mean they won't come back, which is true for Yasmin, Kyler, and Brooks because they were in season 1, didn't appear in season 2, and they came back in season 3. I would like to see Aisha come back too. Do you think Carmen is pregnant? That's why Johnny drives a minivan now? Oh, that'd be interesting. I don't think so personally, but I think Johnny just kind of kept on that minivan from the shop. Valver, see you later, man. Least favorite character. Again, that would kind of go towards Stingray. I don't hate him, but he's just like, he kind of somewhat stands out to me in a way, but it is what it is. The actor's good though. It was a good word. Thank you, Brickmaster. Do you think Miguel is going to win the All Valley again? That would be cool. I would not be opposed if Hawk or somebody else won the All Valley either. Young Kreese after Vietnam versus old Johnny. Kreese would definitely win that, and I'm not talking about a youth versus, age versus age thing. At that point, Kreese was already was really starting to become very ruthless, and because he just killed his captain, I think he would decimate old Johnny. Let's see. Without Miyagi's secret, Johnny would probably win. Yeah, I could see that. Hawk versus Tori. I think Hawk would win because Hawk would, if he could maintain that same psychological advantage he did over Tori and Kyler and Brooks, that would give him an edge over Tori. Do you think they're going to bring Dre Parker? I no, unless they change their mind, because the writers have always said that it's not part of the Miyagi-verse, so to speak. So I would enjoy seeing Hawk being a bit terrified of Sean and how that played out. Yeah, maybe because Sean's a lot bigger. Because Sean's probably the biggest guy ever to have, if he does join a dojo, to being a karate fighter. Sean and Robbie versus young Daniel and pre-injury Miguel. Ooh, that's a tough one. If we're talking about young Daniel after right after Karate Kid 3, knowing the kata, knowing how to focus and stuff like that, with pre-injury Miguel, I think they would easily beat Sean and Robbie. But then again, Robbie could master techniques quicker than Daniel could. So, damn, that's hard to say. Maybe Sean and Robbie would win that one. As a cameo, that'd be kind of cool too. What if the old Cobra Kai helped Daniel and Johnny? I could kind of somehow see that happening, especially with Bobby and Jimmy not a fan of, Kreese being brought back in season 2 when they were at the bar. That would be kind of cool to see. Let's see. Favorite character, if we're talking about the young kids, a tie between Miguel and Robbie. If we're talking about the senseis, Johnny a little bit more than Daniel. Miyagi's my favorite sensei of all time, though. And the best sensei of all time. Catching a fly with Johnny's fight. that would be kind of cool. I could see Johnny being like, what the hell are you using chopsticks for? And just waving the thing around. Carrying the team, yeah. What if Chosen helps Daniel and Johnny? See, I would like that to happen. I just don't see how he would find a way to California. I guess that's my own thing too. But I mean, that would be kind of cool because imagine Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen versus Mike Barnes, Terry Silver, and Kreese. Then it would be a match for the ages. Who do you think the bad guy is going to be now? The franchise, Daniel or Johnny? That's a good question. I don't see Daniel or Johnny no longer being antagonists at this point, though. That's my main thing. Oh, you mean overall? It depends. Karate Kid 1, Johnny's definitely more antagonistic, even though Daniel has caused some issues. And Cobra Kai season 1 and 2, Daniel's definitely more antagonistic then. So I don't think they're clearly the bad guy. Either of them are the bad guy, so to speak. But given how consistent Kreese is, I would say Kreese is the true antagonist of all time. But it's tough to say because if we're just weighing Karate Kid 1 to season 1 and season 2, I would say Daniel would win that out. Antagonist wise. What if Hawk and Daniel fight? I don't see Daniel attacking Hawk. I could see him still answering for that stuff. But I think at that point, though, Daniel would also have to remember, some of the things he did like that in the past, especially like when he was part of Cobra Kai. Because, Cobra Kai even corrupted Daniel at one point. So that's something he would have to think about. Aisha versus Sam. Sam would definitely win just because of more experience, in my opinion. Pre-injury Miguel versus 80s Johnny. Ooh. I would say Cobra Kai. So Cobra Kai Theory did that video a while back, and I'll just kind of reference them. I do agree with their opinion. Is that Johnny is more of a natural athlete than Miguel. So I would say Johnny would kind of take that. And Johnny also has been training 5 years, where Miguel's only been training about a year and a half. So I think Johnny would beat him purely on experience. Stupid ads. Dutch 80s versus Hawk. Ooh, that is a good question. I'm trying to think. If we're talking about, the problem with that is that we haven't seen, Dutch is ruthless, but we haven't seen him fight as much as Hawk. If Hawk could still maintain his viciousness between season 2 and 3, I think Hawk could win that fight. Miguel versus Terry Silver. If we're talking about Terry Silver from Karate Kid, no, I think Terry would still beat Miguel. Purely just because of the experience thing too. Versus not start the fight. So their combined dojo is going to be interesting now. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that would be really. I'm definitely looking forward to season 4. Hawk learns kata. That would be cool, especially if he could focus and kind of do like a very like more. I know it wasn't a kata, so to speak, when Chosen did the thing when he was like getting ready to do the Miyagi-Do pressure points. But if he did some kind of intimidating kata like that, he could really have an edge over people. Who do you think will die in season 4? My bet is Robbie's mom or Sid. Robbie's mom, I don't see happening, mainly because of, her being in rehab. Sid could pass away from old age. That I could see for sure. Do you think Hawk is just faking it? He's like a double agent? No, only because there's just so many. That would be like a really convoluted act throughout all of season 3 to act like that when he wouldn't need to around certain people like Kreese and stuff like that. I don't think it's possible. Dimitri versus Kyler. Kyler is aggressive, but if Dimitri could anticipate his attacks like he did to Hawk, I think Dimitri could win. Miguel would get taught in the pressure points thing, and Robbie would get taught something else we didn't know. That's very true. Daniel versus Terry Silver. Okay, if we're talking about Daniel versus Terry Silver now, I think Daniel could beat Terry, mainly because Terry is, again, less experienced in Cobra Kai than Kreese. And Daniel was about ready to kill Kreese with the pressure point, so I think Daniel now could beat Terry Silver. Kreese's captain versus Daniel. Ooh, that's a good thing too. If we're talking about Daniel now, that's tough because we don't know how we've only seen Kreese's captain fight, but then Kreese's captain was really brutal. I'm not sure. I mean, if I had to pick, I would say Daniel. Mainly just because it just depends on what form of Daniel we're talking about. If we're talking about pressure points, Daniel would win, have an advantage. Kyler versus Sean for third best Cobra. Sean definitely better than Kyler. Kyler, here, let me drink real quick. Hey, Rez, what's going on? I'm feeling better, man. How's it going, dude? Let me drink some tea real quick. Kyler is aggressive, but the problem is his because of how insecure he is about himself, like his confidence gets wavered very quick. Because like after the Miguel fight in season 1, he didn't want to have anything to do with Miguel, and he was afraid of him. He was only going after Miguel in season 3 because he knew Miguel just relearned to walk. But imagine now getting beat by Miguel when he's not even at his 100%. He's just not gonna. You know, like he might be aggressive towards people he knows he can fight, but Kyler's like a very simple bully to where like if he gets his ass whooped, he's weak. So Sean, and not to mention Sean's way bigger than Kyler. I think Sean would wipe the floor with Kyler, honestly. Where would you place Kreese as captain in between the Karate Kid universe? Oh, if we're talking about senseis, I would. Ooh, that is a good question because of the whole chart thing. I mean, Kreese would definitely, if we're talking about young Kreese and young Terry Silver, he would definitely be better than them because he taught them, so to speak. No, I still don't buy that theory, Caleb. I just don't see how it's plausible. Do you think Anthony will fight in the tournament? He lost the weight. That would be kind of cool. Like I'd like to see Anthony, you know, fight with Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. Yeah, you think the All Valley next season is going to end with an unexpected twist? I think if they did do that, it would be Robbie winning the tournament. So, how do you think Miguel and Robbie will evolve in season 4? If Miguel can get past, his his injury and like learn to recoup a little bit more, he would and you know not to mention learning from both Daniel and Johnny. He could give Robbie a run for his money. Robbie is a natural and has learned like techniques and whatnot, but I think because right now they're 1-1. Miguel only won Robbie because he exploited his injured shoulder, and Robbie kind of held his own despite having that injured shoulder throughout the entire match, kind of like Daniel and Johnny in Karate Kid in the first movie. But the other thing too, Miguel was clearly better in the school fight, and he only lost the fight because Robbie took advantage and knocked him over the rail. 5 strongest to weakest: Miguel, Tori, Hawk, Dimitri, Xander, Stone. Let's see. If we're taking season 3 into consideration, I would say. Well, that's kind of tough. Because that would kind of still put Miguel. Well, if we're talking about like injured Miguel, post-injured Miguel, it would be Hawk, Miguel. Yeah, Hawk, Miguel. I would say Xander, Tori, and Dimitri. Just because Dimitri didn't really have a lot of fight scenes. Robbie and young Johnny versus Sam and young Dan. Ooh. I would think Robbie and young Johnny would win that. Young Johnny was ruthless. And combined with Robbie's ruthlessness now of season 3, that would totally mop the floor with Sam and young Daniel. I mean, to be honest, Daniel like won a lot of times because of the point-to-point system. He had plot armor. So, Sean versus young Johnny. Young Johnny would still win only because of his experience, in my opinion. Samantha versus Tori. Samantha, like I said, Tori is a vicious fighter, but Samantha has experience. But I wasn't really satisfied with the fight at the end of season 3 because it kind of ended like an abrupt stalemate. So I would like to see them fight again for sure. Dimitri whoop Kyler, yeah, that would be awesome. Do you think Daniel will teach his students the pressure point? That's a good question. I think no, but if he had to trust one of the students, it would be either Miguel or Sam. I don't see them having to use it in the tournament, but you never know. So, Sean and Kyler slowly injure Miguel. That I could see Sean slowly injuring Miguel, but not Kyler, just because again Kyler's confidence has to be shot, just like it would be in season 1. Oh Jesus! We're about to get DMCA here. I didn't even know that was a mashup. Let's see. Hold on, let me drink this real quick. You know, I'm okay with Miguel and Sam staying together. They're not a bad couple, in my opinion. I think they're a good couple. It's kind of nice to have some consistency, you know. So Sean will return. I hope so. I hope Sean does return. Aisha versus Stingray. That is a kind of a funny scenario. So let's see. Aisha has been a longer student than Stingray, but Stingray might have the natural strength advantage of just being older and having more weight behind him. So Aisha would have to utilize some defense, which she doesn't know too much of because of being in Cobra Kai. So Aisha would only win if she could dodge Stingray's attacks, which wouldn't be too hard because he's not like lightning fast, obviously. Otherwise, Stingray would win purely out of strength, I think. Wait, what was the problem with Aisha? Did they have issues with her? All right, no problem, Rez. I appreciate it. Dimitri versus Aisha. Dimitri's defense, as far as season 2, is top notch. So I think he could anticipate just like Aisha's attack like Hawk and could win. But Miguel would mop the floor with Dimitri. How do you think season 4 will set up season 5? Let me see. My only thing would be is if they had a twist ending, they would probably have to have like Robbie win to set up season 5 and try to find a way to still fight back Cobra Kai after that. That'd be my guess. Otherwise, the other way I see that happening is Miguel wins, right? Or Hawk or somebody from Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. They win the tournament, and then something drastic happens, kind of like season 2, where somebody gets brutally injured. So, do you think there's a Yag_TV? What's going on? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Do you think there's a chance Hawk might get back with Moon? There could be. I mean, I don't think Hawk necessarily needs Moon in his life, but it would be kind of cool to see them back together. It would also have to, depend on Moon actually forgiving Hawk. Your video comparing the similarities to Johnny Miyagi was amazing. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I spent a lot of time on that video, and I was very glad it was well received. If Sean had a month of Cobra Kai training, Sean would be deadly. I think he would be deadly purely because of his strength advantage. Sean easily, like, if we're talking about purely just strength, we're not talking about skill, speed, anything like that. Sean could easily whoop Robbie, Dimitri, Sam, Hawk, Miguel. He would just whoop people. Oh yeah, okay. So I heard about that, but I thought they had like an actual falling out with the actors, because I remember when they tweeted that they still liked Aisha and the actress, and that there's room to bring her back in the future. Which is true, because they did that for Yasmin, Kyler, and Brooks. They were gone in season 2, but they were brought back for season 3. Do you think Hawk will fight as Eli in the tournament? That would be cool. I don't think he has to necessarily shed Hawk, to be good, so to speak. But I'd be okay with that too if he lost his mohawk and went back as Eli. Terry tries to beat up Miguel like Barnes did to Daniel, but Daniel and Johnny helped Miguel. Yeah. That would be something I could see. If I could send out Hawk or Robbie or Sam. Wait, what? I'm sorry. I don't understand that question. Do you think Johnny will fight Mike Barnes too? I would like to see that fight happen, honestly. That would have to be like a street fight for that to work. Young Daniel versus Miguel in All Valley Rules. Ooh, that is a good one. Man, I'm trying to think. And let's say Miguel doesn't have knowledge of the crane kick, right? Damn, that's so tough to answer, because his fight with Robbie literally went like Daniel's fight with Johnny in '84, but instead the Johnny or Miguel won. Oh man, I would say. Okay, so my answer is going to be a little bit complicated, but I'll kind of break down and whatnot. So I'm going to explain why Miguel is going to win this. Okay, so Daniel, right? He finally starts training with Miyagi right after the Halloween party. So he starts training, which we don't know when exactly took place in October. It either took place on Halloween, before Halloween, right around Halloween. let's just say he starts training the beginning of November, right? The Olive Valley tournament's December 19th. So he's basically been training for a month and a half. On the other hand, Miguel started training technically since the start of school. Got his ass kicked by Kyler in Halloween, but started training again for his lunchroom fight with Kyler. Which there is a little bit of a time jump because we see there's Christmas decorations in his apartments and whatnot. So what was I going to say? So we know there's a little bit of time jump. Let's say that, he fights Kyler in January, and the tournament for the All Valley and Miguel's timeline is May 19th. He has at least a year in experience on Daniel, but then again, Johnny had 5 years on on Daniel as well. I still think Miguel would win because of his ability to learn way quicker than Daniel was. That would just be my and Miguel. It's not like Miguel was purely offense in season 1. He did learn some defense too. So, if I could write out. Oh, hold on. I think it's awesome how the 3 lose in the beginning. Maybe Hawk and Dimitri end up getting the girls they want. Yeah, that is interesting. Barnes of 1985 versus Miguel in a street fight. Barnes would win. I hate to say that about Miguel, but Barnes was relentless. Do you think there will be a game moment in season 4 where some of the male kids are just like they had Moon kiss another girl? I don't see that happening, but if it happened, it doesn't bother me. People can love whoever they want to love. Hawk, Miguel. Oh, written one of those characters on the show. Hawk, Miguel, Sam, Robbie, or Tori. Ooh, that is a good question. I would honestly be okay with either. Actually, just Tori. Mainly because her characters just kind of felt rushed. I don't really have a lot of room to sympathize with her. Everyone's saying Chosen will be coming back to help with the new dojo. Do you approve on this? I would. I don't see it happening, but I'd be okay with it if it did happen. Do you think Johnny should go back with Ali or stay with Carmen? I think Carmen is the best girl for him. Just because Ali made a good point that it's cool to visit the past, but you need to live for now. And Carmen, it's like that family you want to mesh really well with. Johnny being the real cool stepdad to Miguel, and then also having Carmen. I think he would go with Carmen. Think you'd like to see a fight when? Let's see if it Robbie, Miguel, and Hawk. Oh, like a 3-way fight? That would be interesting. If Chosen opened a dojo, who would you think to be the best student? If we're talking about if you pull somebody from the current show, I think he could have Miguel as his best student. Talking straight with Nate, what's going on? Yak TV, what's going on, dude? How do I want the end game of Cobra Kai to be? I think it would be kind of cool to end with a future scene of Miguel being older and him now being a sensei. I would be kind of cool with that. Barnes versus Robbie Street Rules, and if that one is too easy, Barnes versus Sean after a month of Cobra Kai. Barnes would ooh, damn, that's still kind of tough. All right, see you later, man. See you later, Y'all TV. Thanks for stopping in. Shoot. You know what? I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go to the restroom really quickly. Keep the comments rolling. I'm going to come back and answer Aiden's question about Barnes versus Robbie and Barnes versus Sean. All right, coming back right now. Let's see. Oh no, that's awesome, dude. No need to brag. That's dope. Okay, so Barnes versus Robbie. Damn. The only problem with that is just we don't know how long Barnes has been a fighter, and he's like a national karate champion. But then again, Robbie was also able to hold his own and learn techniques really well. I think that one, that's tough to say. I think Barnes would still be more ruthless than Robbie, so I think Barnes would win. However, Sean would give Barnes a run for his money purely because of his size and strength advantage. And while Barnes is more experienced, Sean is also brutal in his own right, and there's not much you can do against raw power. Do you think that Lynn is an undercover cop? The fight outside only took 57 seconds. She and Miguel were the only one who witnessed the fight. Oh, that would be interesting. Though I couldn't see her. Oh well, if she's undercover cop, that could be. So Mike Barnes versus Kreese. Kreese would win only because of more experience, in my opinion. Daniel and Miguel versus Kreese and Robbie. Well, we know Daniel was about ready to kill Miguel, so if he took on Kreese, that would be it. It just depends on how Miguel's doing with his injury, because that could either end in a stalemate or with Miguel barely winning over Robbie. How would Miguel feel about a sensei being a stepdad? You know, if he was open to the idea, I wouldn't see how much there would, that would change their relationship, to be honest. Because it's like, that was his, that was his dad. Essentially, I mean, that is his dad essentially. So, really hope Sean joins Cobra Kai. That would be cool. Robbie's too old to compete because his birthday is February 4th. Well, not necessarily, and I'll tell you why. So season 1 basically takes place like the fall of 2018, right? And it goes on into 2019, where Robbie turns 17. Season 3 takes place at the end of 2019, or in the Cobra Kai universe at the same. So Robbie's still 17. And I think it's an 18 and under All Valley. So the other thing as well is it depends on when the All Valley takes place. I don't foresee it in, saying, hey, let's wait another year for the All Valley. If they had it at the same time in May, I think Robbie would still be able to compete. Season 3 deleted scenes, that would definitely be cool. If Terry Silver comes back, do you think he will make Robbie fight like Mike Barnes? Yes, I could definitely see that happening. So you think this will cause that Miguel feel used by Johnny to get close to his mom? No, just because, Johnny saved Miguel, during his first fight with Kyler, and he didn't even know his mom by then. And I don't think I'm trying to think when he met Miguel's mom. Yeah, he didn't meet Miguel's mom until after bringing Miguel home from the Halloween fight all messed up, and no, I don't really foresee that happening, and I think Miguel would be more reasonable to assume something like that. What if Kreese was the good guy and Miyagi was the bad guy? How do you think the story would be different? Ooh, that's a good question. Miyagi would almost be like Sato then, in my opinion. Very, holding a grudge and whatnot. Kreese would be kind of like a younger Johnny. So I think we would kind of get a flip of what that would be now, of like Cobra Kai and whatnot. So Mike Barnes versus Dimitri and Hawk. Ooh, that's a good thing. That's a good question. Now, as long as Dimitri was not afraid of Mike Barnes and was able to anticipate attacks, I think he could distract Dimitri, or he could distract Barnes in that manner, and Hawk could go in for the attack. So I think Dimitri and Hawk combined could beat Mike Barnes. Purely by the numbers game. Cobra Kai Meme Master. I made a video of all of them on my channel. Mary Mouser and JC Co. coordinate. Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's amazing. I used to make some memes here and there too. I need to remake some. You reckon in season 4 that Johnny and Daniel will have funny moments, like they will laugh with each other? I hope so. It's kind of cool to see them bond, you know? So, Neil Patrick Harris buying a car from Daniel, that would be kind of cool. I would love to see that cameo, honestly. So, yeah, I mean that would be really cool. So, I think Tori and Robbie are better for each other just because of their similar background and whatnot. And they can understand what it's like to kind of be cast aside, so to speak. Maybe not the best reason to get together, but I think they're more suited for each other. Kreese and Silver versus Johnny and Daniel on the street, anything goes. Ooh, man. We know Johnny and Daniel can nearly beat Kreese one-on-one. Daniel, again, about ready to kill Kreese with the pressure points. I guess it depends if Silver kind of kept training in Cobra Kai after Karate Kid 3. I think it would be a very close match, but Johnny and Daniel would win. Yeah, I think they would have to kind of incorporate, you know, like... Oh, I have a good idea for that one, actually. Hold on, let me drink this real quick. So, the way I would see they would train people, like in the dojos, is Daniel and Johnny would have to recall their fight from '84 or some of their past fights and say, this is how you would defend if Johnny's attacking you like this. And Johnny could be like, you know, this is how you would find an opening if Daniel is attacking like or defending like this. I think that would be a good way for them to teach. Robbie and Tori versus Samantha and Daniel. If we're talking about young Daniel, I think Robbie and Tori would still win, just because of Robbie's ability to learn way quicker than Daniel was and just being naturally stronger. Do you think Johnny would be a car salesman at the dealership? He doesn't have a job and Miyagi does for free. I could see that happening. Or with Johnny maybe working as a mechanic at the dealership, because he likes to work on cars. If Daniel was Miguel Sensei and Johnny was Robbie Sensei, do you think Robbie would be stronger than Miguel? That's a tough question. I mean, because they're kind of evenly matched. Robbie has a natural advantage, again, being Johnny's son, having his genetics. But see, if Miguel had way more defense with Daniel, I think Miguel could still beat Robbie. Oh, Elf on the Shelf series, like the newest one, the man on the pen. Nice. What point in the season do you think All Valley will be? I would say if they were really trying to make a huge deal out of this, I could foresee it being the last 2 episodes of the season. Like, see, episode 9, episode 10. Do you hope that Robbie and Miguel might have that moment for forgiveness and greater understanding of each other? I think so. Because it's kind of like Johnny and Daniel's relationship. They just kind of jump to conclusions, or really the whole franchise has always jumped to conclusions. And I think it's kind of implied that Miguel was already willing to forgive Robbie in season 3 when they met up. Because really, Robbie's in the wrong. Robbie's the one that kicked Miguel, and when he did feel sorry about it, but it's just Kreese got into his head and said, you know, hey, whatever. What do you think happened if Johnny put the TV on the right side? Cobra Kai would have never been born, honestly. Kreese, Miguel's son? No. You have to understand, he did go to South America, but the other thing though too is just like that was also like 33 years before Miguel was even born, or excuse me, before the events of Cobra Kai. So he would have had to have revisited, like if that, and let's say that did happen, he would have had to revisit South America 16 years past Karate Kid 3. I guess it depends on her schedule. I would definitely be okay with her reprising her role. I think that's the only way they should do it. Allie's gonna have a major role, not just a cameo. I don't know what purpose she would serve in season 4. I think she I think I think she did a good job in season 3 already. I don't see how she could be in season 4. I mean, that's not saying that she can't be. I just don't see what right now how she would be. What do you think would happen if Miyagi was still somehow alive in Cobra Kai? Ooh, I think Miyagi would be a mediator, kind of like Ali was. Excuse me, because Miyagi said even before his death, Daniel's a good man, just has a hard head. So, Robbie will always be rivals like Johnny and Daniel. I can see that. Best thing, we all want to see Robbie and Johnny making up and somewhat becoming friendly with each other. That would be kind of cool too. Because it kind of the closest moment they had to that was when Miguel returned the Medal of Honor. That's kind of like the most civil that they were with each other, and he was like, hey, I'm sorry, we're not all assholes. So Bobby will marry Johnny and Carmen. I would like to see that. That would be cool. You think that Johnny's old friends will come back and help him and Daniel to teach the dojo? I don't know if they would go as far as getting directly involved in the teaching aspect of it, but I could see them, being called as backup if Kreese tried to do something like unethical or whatnot in regards to the All Valley. I could see Jimmy and Bobby being called in for backup. Oh, to the death? Ooh. I mean, they kind of did that in season 2. But, man, that's a good question. I don't know who would win that fight. If we're talking about as of now, Robbie has an advantage over Miguel because of Miguel's injury. I think Robbie would still beat him right now because Miguel's still not 100%. And Kyler was not always the best fighter anyway. So Kyler was like very one-dimensional, had only like worried about wrestling and stuff like that too. So I'm going to take another quick break. I'm going to go grab some water. So I'll be right back, guys.
Every challenge brings new opportunities. Find yours with a degree from the University of Arizona Online. We bring academic excellence to your fingertips so you can stay home and get ahead. Go to online.arizona.edu to apply today.
Enter the unknown. A mystery riddling me and giving me cryptic glyphs goes untold. What is now like to augment a man in a clan where I once as the sun shone? What is morning to man when the night and the day are conceptually void in the space? We're facing figures, blazing pictures, numbers, symbols, it's amazing chains. Physically, mentally slave to escape my brain's enable. Shackled to each of my brothers and fear that the story will end like Cain and Abel.
Alright, coming back right now. Wait, what the heck is this? Oh, I guess it's a mashup. Let's see. I would like to see Chosen come back. I just don't know how he would be involved in the dojo, but I could see him somehow getting involved in the All Valley. Trying to think. If Terry Silver came back and you think he'll make a whole big plan of how he did with Daniel, oh yeah, I think that's part of his plan. Like he has like that psychological warfare game. If the plan were successful, I would probably see him. Still, I would say he just basically try to make Robbie keep jumping to conclusions about both Daniel and Johnny not wanting him back, so to speak. They increase his rider's action are justified after what he's been through. No. I I will say that like what he went through with having to fight for his life, nobody should ever have to go through that. It does not justify anything he has done though. Like for example, if you do something like when you're mad, right? You can say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was upset," but that doesn't excuse what you did and whatnot. So it's, he does have some points that hey, you have to be aggressive, you have to strike first, but those apply to certain situations. That doesn't always mean go around starting fights and whatnot and stuff. So, chosen as the president and viewed as the vice president, that would be insane. That would explain how maybe Sato's wealth kind of comes into play. So, what if Silver tries to kill Johnny like Kreese? I think that would be even more. That would even be more crazy too. I think that'd require like a Kreese and Silver versus Daniel and Johnny. What if Cobra Kai didn't want to trick Daniel, instead decided to recruit him? Are you talking about Karate Kid 3 or are you talking about as of now? What's your opinion on Kreese's phone his own friend in season 3? I think it has to be Silver. There's nobody else that it could be. But I know like the writers are kind of trying to play it off, but unless he's calling Mike Barnes, but even then, it's hard to say. Oh, Karate Kid 3. No, it's fine. If they said to recruit him, it could be possible. That would have changed like a lot of things too. I think Cobra Kai would still play to an extent, but Daniel would be even more ruthless than he is now. Do you think Daniel's someone get into karate thanks to Johnny's more offensive side? That could be a potential for a split, but then Daniel would have to also understand that, hey, his son likes what his son likes. So, I think Mike Barnes is the one that will fix Daniel's house after it was destroyed. And Mike is Amanda's old boyfriend. Oh, yeah, because the whole pay me at what you owe me thing. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see Mike being Amanda's old boyfriend, but I guess it's possible. But then again, Amanda would probably also not want anything to do with Mike because she would have her past association with Kreese. What if Chosen trains Miguel after Johnny and Daniel rehabilitated more? That would be insane. That'd be really, really cool. Do you think Amanda is Betsy's daughter endowed after childbirth? See, I keep hearing this Betsy, this whole Betsy theory. The other thing is too is we don't know if Kreese. Well, we know that Betsy did not die at childbirth. She died because she wrapped her car around the tree. That's what Captain Turner tells him. But I don't see how, we would just have to know the timeline before Kreese had left. I think Tori's mom is the girl from Next Karate Kid. No, I just don't see how it's plausible. I know that, but as far as Tori's defensive style, she says she did take some kickboxing classes. What if Daniel joined Cobra Kai and Karate Kid instead of Miyagi-Do? I think Daniel would become like the runt of the gang, so to speak, and he would still have to kind of learn how to fit in and whatnot. And he would probably be still part of Johnny's gang to this day, I think. But I think it wouldn't be easy for him. They'd have to like initiate him, like jumping him style. See, I don't know what kind of name they would come up with. It couldn't be obviously like a fusion name. It would have to be some kind of insane name that I can't think of, or a name that's right in front of me. Season 4, someone die, yes. Maybe not a main character though. I just don't, unless they decide that season 4 is the last one. Miyagi Fang, that could be. What if Daniel and Johnny switch styles? That would be interesting. That would be kind of cool. Who win in a 4-way fight? Johnny, Kreese, Silver, and Daniel? I could see Kreese and Silver turning on both Daniel really quick to take care of them, and then I could see Kreese ending up the victor in that situation if we're talking about like a WWE style 4-way fight. Do you think that David is Mike Barnes' father? Both of them are ruthless. Wait, David? Who's David? I'm not too sure who that is. Carmen sues Kreese? I haven't seen Tori fight. Oh, yeah. The bully at dinner. David. Who? Let me look that up. Yellow belt in karate. Oh, nice, man. Congrats. Oh, sorry. David. Why is that not? Oh, the diner. Sorry, the diner guy. That would be an interesting connection, to be honest. I mean, because we don't know what happened to him after that fight with Kreese. I haven't seen a toy fight. Carmen suing Kreese. I could see that somehow happening. But Terry, that was kind of where Terry would swoop in and just kind of like take care of, like just pay him off and like, yeah, here you go. What do you think Johnny was during Karate Kid 2 and 3? Well, we know he left Cobra Kai. I mean, he obviously was still like in his in California. Hey Evie, my girlfriend there. I think it's hard to say. I mean, he said he was partying a lot, so he probably was just still living off of his stepdad, if I had to guess. If it was down to Miguel and Hawk, if we're talking about them being trained by Johnny and Daniel, Miguel Hawk would have a slight advantage because of him not being injured. So I think Hawk could probably win just on that alone. I think it's guaranteed that Daniel and Johnny will have a lot of heated arguments while training students together. Yep, I could see that as a conflict. If Miguel was not injured, I mean, clearly Miguel has always been like the better fighter and more experienced. But Hawk has also come a long way too. Damn. Robbie never got it. Yeah. Neither of them have really got like a fair fight either. Man, I'm trying to think about that one. Hawk could probably still win. I think Miguel has typically been better than Miguel, but or Miguel's been better than Hawk typically. So, do you think Miguel and Sam will keep them working together throughout the season? Yeah, I think they would have to be the mediators, just kind of like Sam was the mediator for her mom and her grandma. So, John, you think Johnny will get injured or hospitalized? Carmen will be the nurse, and Ali will perform surgery on Johnny. That could happen as like a message from Terry Silver and John Kreese. So, who's the overall strongest Cobra Kai? For me, it's either Barnes or Johnny. Yeah, if we're talking about the Cobra Kai dojo as the former students, Barnes and Johnny for sure. Oh, best animal? Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, the entire franchise. Are you talking about the entire franchise or just the Cobra Kai dojo? Like the history of the dojo? Let's see. I don't mind him still sticking with the Hawk, to be honest. Or maybe he would go with some kind of like Okinawan animal, bestowed to him by Daniel. What animal do you? Oh no, I read that. Tori is gonna get with Robbie, then Sam is gonna get jealous again and cause more problems in the show. I could see that happening. I also could see that not happening. Typically, just because Robbie being part of Cobra Kai, she knows there's no hope for Sam. Oh, Bert. Do you think landlord from Tori's apartment will have a bigger role in season 4? No, I think Kreese and Terry would kind of shut him up, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just gonna state right now, guys. Probably like 5 more minutes left on this live stream. Then I'll probably get back to work on the Miguel video and kind of taking a rest from my voice because it's kind of starting to wear on me. But I'm glad that all you guys tuned up. But let's get some more questions. If Robbie wasn't jealous of Miguel at first and joined Johnny's Cobra Kai, waffles or pancakes? Waffles for sure. I think Johnny would be glad to have finally trained Robbie and Miguel together, and I think they would have really gotten along. So, Sam fights Robbie. Robbie might still have an advantage because of natural ability. Miguel video is going to be about. So the video is going to be called "Why Miguel is the Chosen One." His comparisons to Daniel and Johnny, and kind of a breakdown of his character so far, kind of like I did with Hawk, Robbie, and Johnny. So it's there's a lot of good stuff. I don't want to give away too much, but there's a lot of stuff that I picked from season 1, 2, and 3 about Miguel's character and his ability to persevere, and pretty much how he's like the polar opposite of Robbie, where Robbie's the dark side, Miguel's the light side, and stuff. So. Flaming Trito. Oh, that's not too bad, actually. Kyler stronger than Robbie? No, Robbie would mop the floor with Kyler. Miguel's slightly stronger than Hawk, I would say. Who would I like to be besties with on the show? I would, that's a good question. See, that the problem is I'm older than most of the Cobra Kai students. So, man, if I was a teenager again, probably Miguel, I would say. What do you think happens to Johnny's challenger? Probably Lynn is using it to ride around just to grab stuff. Sean is going to fight Kyler and take his place on the team. Yep, I could see that happening. Robbie fights Daniel, but Chosen is there and destroys him. Yeah, I could see that happening too. Do you think Dimitri would keep the girlfriend he gained, Yasmin? No, I think Yasmin kind of like really realized like, wow, this is like what I was bullying people for. I think that was a natural turnaround for Yasmin. Miguel is definitely a modern day version of Daniel, and that's what we'll be talking about in the video too. I can see that too. So yeah, Robbie getting messed up by not playing ball or something. They never explained what happened to Moon's girlfriend. I was surprised about that too, because she was like already making eyes at some other guy, so she must have broke. It must have been a really short-lived relationship. So she was making guys at the other guy on the soccer field. Hawk's better with his kick, but Miguel's better with his hands. You can't deny that. Yep, for sure. Lost Rivers season 5 or 6. My thoughts is I would be okay if they ended it on season 4. I just don't know how they would stretch it out if they win the All Valley or if they lose the All Valley rather. How would they get back at Kreese and Cobra Kai? I guess that's like my question. Damn, we went through this whole playlist. That's awesome. I'll put this one back on. The Dark Cave is a favorite of mine. I would say that if they did persist with season 5 and 6, that would be a way for them to work in like Ned and Julie from the next Karate Kid. An All-America tournament, that would be kind of cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm slowly getting better. I'm just this is like my first time I've been talking for like a long time, so I've been drinking like a lot of liquids to kind of like keep my throat clear. But no fatigue. Thankfully, it's just like congestion and runny nose I'm rolling with. So, do you think maybe a dojo? Ooh, that would be an interesting way to prolong the season, because Cobra Kai technically didn't win, but neither did Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang, so that would kind of keep them in season 5 and 6. Miguel and Sam will stay together because, yeah, I think so. I think they would have to use season 4 to work those out. That would be interesting to have Robbie steal some scrolls. Since a moment, that would be interesting for sure. Who would win, Terry Silver's match or Mr. Miyagi? I would Mr. Miyagi. I think. Kim Sun Young. Well, technically, Terry Silver and Kreese train under Captain Turner. Which, by the way, this will be the last question I'll answer because we're running out of time. how they would read it. That's true. They would need a translator. So yeah, so this will be my last question, answering post-violence question. Technically, Terry's master is not Kim Sun Young, but Captain Turner, who taught Kreese, Silver, and the ponytail guy. So, and I think Miyagi would easily be Captain Turner. So, that would be interesting, to say the least, though. But I think Miyagi, and technically, I mean, Miyagi's pretty much whooped everybody in the series that he's fought, so he's definitely, he definitely knows his craft and stuff. So, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this Q&A, guys. I'm just gonna end this with is I'm gonna be working on the Miguel video, hoping to get that out by tomorrow. I just wanted to kind of like come on cam and just introduce who I was, in case you guys hadn't seen my face through my social media links and whatnot and stuff. So yeah, I'll be working on that Miguel video. And maybe I'll do some more Q&As in the future. I like to do more live streams in the future, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I used to do. I also used to stream on Twitch, which I will be getting back to in March or April. I'm also going to be planning to, if in case my voice can't handle, it kind of gets worse for a little bit, I would probably start on my gaming channel and start putting clips there. But the good thing is this congestion is kind of like more or less, how do I make a burrito? I don't know, man. Go to Taco Bell. What do you want me to tell you? But yeah, so I do live stream and stuff like that too. I do have some more other videos coming out outside of Cobra Kai and whatnot. So I appreciate you guys all for tuning in, and thank you guys for 3.6K subs. By the way, that's awesome. Hoping to get to 5K by end of March. So we'll see where we are from there. But yeah. I will be launching the gaming channel pretty soon, and of course, maybe I'll also do some gaming streams on Twitch. I'd love to stream the Cobra Kai game and show you guys some tips and tricks and stuff like that. So, but no, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love you guys. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one.